the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Defense Secretary visits Air Education and Training Command. Armed Forces of the Philippines condemns the aggressive and unsafe maneuvers by Chinese vessels near Bajo de Masinloc. DepEd asks LGUs and parents to help fight illiteracy. And DSWD boosts anti-human trafficking program.
Good day, everyone, as well as our troops at Camp Emilio Aguinaldo, Quezon City. Today is Thursday, May 8, and we will bring you the latest news from the armed forces and other information around the Philippines. In behalf of Rof Suzon, this is Jai Simbahon for AFP Community News.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
Defense Secretary Gilberto Teodoro Jr. visited the Air Education and Training Command at Fernando Air Base in Lipa City, Batangas yesterday, May 7. He was welcomed by Acting Philippine Air Force Chief Major General Aristotl Gonzalez, along with AETDC Commander Major General Jesus Nelson Morales. The visit highlighted the Defense Department's recognition of AETC's vital role in supporting the Air Force mission and served to uplift the morale of its personnel. Secretary Teodoro also led discussions on enhancing training programs, upgrading facilities, and future procurement plans, while commending the commitment of Philippine Air Force personnel to national service.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And the Armed Forces of the Philippines has condemned the aggressive and unsafe maneuvers by Chinese naval and Coast Guard vessels near Bajo de Masinloc. Two Chinese PLA Navy frigates, BN 554 and BN 573, were spotted tailing and dangerously crossing the path of Philippine Navy ship BRP Emilio Jacinto PS 35 during a routine maritime patrol. A China Coast Guard vessel, CCG 5403, also attempted to block the ship's navigational path. These reckless actions not only posed a direct threat to the safety of navigation of PS-35, but also violated international regulation for preventing collisions at sea. Despite the provocation, the AFP affirms its unwavering commitment to protect the country's maritime rights under international and domestic law.
DWDD Armed Forces News. Armed Forces Radio.
For other updates, let us hear the details about reservists joined Balikatan exercises in Apari, Cagayan. Go ahead for the details, Joanne.
For the first time, 22 Marine Reservists had an unforgettable experience participating in the 40th Balikatan exercises held in Barangay Dodan, Apari, Cagayan. Marine Reservist Major Hernan Tubangi of the 71st Marine Battalion Reserve shared his excitement about joining the live fire exercises alongside troops from the 19th Marine Company and Field Artillery Battalion of the Philippine Marine Corps. This marked the reservists' first time participating in a joint military drill between the Philippines and the United States forces. Tubangi expressed enthusiasm about learning from real soldiers and firing real guns. The 22 reservists were integrated into the 19th Military Company as regular forces for the exercise. Tubangi shared that they trained with American and Filipino troops before the actual exercise. Despite the challenges, Tubangi expressed willingness to join future Balikatan exercises. Meanwhile, Commanding Officer Captain Jetward Oligario praised the performance of the 22 reservists during the live fire exercises, where their unit operated a 105mm howitzer and targeted floating targets. This is John Sagauk reporting for AFP Community News, One AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Joanne.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And with its enduring commitment to lakas at dedikasyon, the BRP Hermenegildo Yurong PG's 906 successfully conducted civil military operation activities in the coastal municipality of Malalag, Davao del Sur. The crew of PG 906 joined forces with port officials, residents, and local workers for wharf cleanup efforts, food and refreshment distribution, and the donation of office supplies and trash bins to support local governance. These efforts not only uplifted the community but also strengthened civil-military relations, proving that the Philippine Navy is a reliable partner in nation building and sustainable development.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And the Armed Forces of the Philippines and United States Forces officially concluded the Cyber Defense Exercise. The CyDex, which ran from April 21 to May 7, brought together cybersecurity professionals and military personnel from both nations across multiple sites in the Philippines. Leading the exercise were Colonel Joey T. Fontiveros, Philippine CyDex Director, and Major Plamin Rabino, U.S. CyDex Director, who both underscored the importance of strengthening cyber defense cooperation in the face of evolving digital complexities.
DWDD Armed Forces News. Armed Forces Radio.
On the other line, let us hear more from Gina about 103rd Infantry Battalion commits support for peaceful elections in Kalinga. Gina?
Yes, Jai, 103rd Infantry Battalion Commander Lieutenant Colonel Jimrick B. Obias, Philippine Army, reported the military's deployment and security plans in support of election-related operations in Kalinga during the Provincial Disaster Risk Reduction and Response Assembly. Lieutenant Colonel Obias reported that all available patrol personnel will be mobilized, including approximately 800 members of the Citizen Armed Force Geographical Unit and 400 soldiers from the Philippine Army in the province. The troops will also provide logistical support such as transportation and essential supplies to ensure the readiness and mobility of deployed troops. Meanwhile, specialized units will be deployed to monitor potential threats, including both security risks and natural hazards that may arise due to unpredictable weather conditions. This is Gina reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Gina.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
5 members of the Bangsamoro Islamic Freedom Fighters or BIFF have surrendered to the Philippine Army's 40th Infantry Battalion in Dato Salibo, Maguindanao del Sur. In a symbolic ceremony, the former rebels turned over firearms and explosives as part of their formal return to the fold of the law. The event was attended by representatives from the Ministry of Public Order and Safety BARM, the 601st Infantry Brigade, the Dato Salibo local government, municipal police, and senior army officials. Meanwhile, Major General Donald Gumiran, commander of the 6th Infantry Division, thanked local leaders and Moro elders for helping persuade the 5 former BIFF members to surrender and take part in the government's reconciliation program.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And for our national news, the Department of Education called on local government units, communities, and parents to lend a hand in fighting illiteracy. Education Secretary Sonny Angara said that the illiteracy problem is not a classroom problem alone. He explained that solving literacy means mobilizing parents, LGUs, and the private sector, as children can't learn on an empty stomach. As data showed a correlation between improvement in nutrition and literacy, DepEd said it has forged partnerships that make feeding programs more efficient and sustainable.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
And now let us hear a reporter on the ground about Philippine Army Chief to join 2025 Land Pack Forum in Hawaii. Go on for the details, Spencer.
Philippine Army Commanding General Lieutenant General Roy M. Galito Philippine Army is set to join the annual Land Forces Pacific Symposium in Sheraton, Waikiki, Honolulu, Hawaii next week, 13 to 15 May. The said forum will be hosted by the Association of the United States Army. According to Army spokesperson Colonel Louis de Maala, the CGPA will serve as a panelist during the positional advantage session and will deliver a presentation focused on the theme prevailing through land power. Meanwhile, U.S. Army Pacific Commanding General Ronald Clark said the upcoming annual forum follows the recent visit of U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth to the Indo-Pacific, where he repeatedly underscored the U.S. commitment to its partners and allies in the region. This is Spencer reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Spencer.
DWDD National News.
The Department of Social Welfare and Development would allot a 24 million peso budget for its recovery and reintegration program for trafficked persons this year. DSWD Assistant Secretary Irene Dumlao reported that the agency has provided aid to 813 human trafficking victims in the first quarter of the year. Dumlao added that human trafficking is a heinous crime that typically targets the poor and vulnerable fellow citizens. She emphasized the need to prepare and provide adequate assistance to victims through the recovery and reintegration program.
DWDD National News.
And the Pag-asa has identified 16 areas across the country that may experience heat index levels classified under the danger category today, May 8. Based on Pag-asa's latest forecast, the highest heat index of 44 degrees Celsius may be recorded in Dagupan City, Pangasinan, and Cavite City. Meanwhile, Pasay City, Sinait, Ilocos Sur, Lawag City, Ilocos Norte, Itsaga, Isabela, Iba, Zambales, Camiling, Tarlac, Masbate City, Masbate, and Catarman, Northern Samar may experience 43 degrees Celsius. Other areas may register a 42 degrees Celsius heat index are Tanawan, Batangas, Los Baños, Laguna, Coron, Palawan, Coyo, Palawan, Daet, Camarines Norte, and Rojas City, Capiz.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
And we have a report coming in from Jimboy about 94th Infantry Battalion joins HBOINI's Masaya ang Pagbasa outreach activity in Negros Occidental. Jimboy?
The 94th Infantry Battalion joined the Hope Builders Organization Negros Island Incorporation. Masaya ang pagbasa outreach activity at Balatugan Elementary School, Barangay Buenavista, Himamaylan City, Negros Occidental. The activity aimed to promote the importance of reading, health and happiness of children in remote communities. The initiative, which provided not only aid but inspiration and joy for the whole community, benefits more than 80 residents of Sitio Balatugan from the service, such as free haircut, feeding program, distribution of books, storytelling, free medicine, parlor games, and circumcision. Meanwhile, 94th IB Commanding Officer Lieutenant Colonel Siegfried D. Tayaban Infantry GSC Philippine Army reaffirmed that the mission of the Philippine Army goes beyond keeping the peace in the area. The Army is also actively participating in community development. This is Jimboy reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Jimboy.
DWDD National News.
And Malacanang has warned voters against falling for disinformation and as the midterm elections approach. Communications Undersecretary Claire Castro urged the public to be vigilant, responsible, and to avoid aiding those who spread falsehoods online. Castro also said the administration has long been the subject of fake news and appealed to voters not to let such tactics influence their decisions at polls. The Palace Press Officer emphasized that voters should learn to distinguish between legitimate criticism against the government and deliberate disinformation. She likewise asked the public to avoid consuming or spreading content aimed purely at attacking the administration without factual basis.
DWDD National News.
And over 1.1 million passengers are expected to troop to various ports across the country as they cast their vote for the upcoming midterm elections in their responsive home provinces. Philippine Ports Authority General Manager J. Daniel Santiago assured the public of the agency's readiness to deal with the influx of people. Santiago explained that they are implementing full manning of personnel from port operations and port security units handling frontline services. The PPA is also strengthening coordination with the Coast Guard, law enforcement, and shipping lines to ensure our ports remain safe, secure, and passenger-friendly.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
And now let us hear from Sena about 2nd Infantry Division conducts the regional annual administrative and tactical inspection at Occidental Mindoro State College. Sena?
The Army 2nd Infantry Jungle Fighter Division conducted the Regional Annual Administrative and Tactical Inspection or RAATI of the Occidental Mindoro State College Reserve Officers Training Corps Unit. Colonel Virgilio Ramos Jr., Assistant Division Commander for Retiree and Reservist Affairs and Chairman of the RAATI team, spearheaded the inspection focusing on the unit's administrative operations, tactical performance, and compliance with record-keeping standards. The RAATI serves as a vital mechanism to maintain high standards in ROTC programs, ensuring cadets receive quality training anchored on discipline, leadership, and patriotism. It also reinforces the importance of readiness and accountability in preparing student cadets to become capable leaders and responsible citizens who will uphold peace, order, and national service. This is Sena from Solcom reporting for AFP Community News, 1AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Sena.
DWDD National News.
The Quezon City Police District announced that some 4,000 personnel would be deployed to various polling precincts and strategic locations to ensure the orderly, peaceful, and honest conduct of the midterm elections. QCPD's Deputy Director for Administration, Colonel Randy Glenn Silvio, said that the QCPD has been placed under full alert status since May 3, 2025 as part of its comprehensive preparations for Monday's midterm elections. Silvio also reminded the entire City Police Force to remain apolitical and refrain from any partisan involvement. He then added that the QCPD has already provided security during the transport of election paraphernalia and automated counting machines from Laguna to the Amoranto Stadium in the city.
DWDD National News.
And the Department of Transportation has renewed its call for consolidated operators to join the Public Transport Modernization Program with new pathways to compliance. Under the new framework, public utility jeepney and UV Express operators would be given another chance to regularize their status. On routes where consolidation has already reached 60% or higher, unconsolidated operators may join existing transport service entities provided the total fleet size does not exceed authorized limits. The move came after intense lobbying from transport groups and a comprehensive review of the modernization program by a DOTR special committee in March.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
And now let us hear from Ali about AFSSG celebrates 23rd founding anniversary. Ali?
The Air Force Special Service Group celebrated its 23rd founding anniversary yesterday, May 7, 2025, held at the PAF Multi-Purpose Gymnasium, Colonel Jesus Villamor Air Base, Pasay City. The activity with the theme, 23 Years of Resilience, Focus on Excellent Physical Fitness and Morale and Welfare Services, was graced by the Chief of Air Staff of the PAF, Major General Ulises S. Marquez, Philippine Air Force, as the guest of honor and speaker. The celebration highlighted AFSSG's enduring mission to promote the well-being, readiness, and morale of PAF personnel and their families and honored outstanding unit personnel and stakeholders. Meanwhile, Major General Marquez lauded the AFSSG as a vital force behind every mission, ensuring that PAF personnel remain physically fit, mentally resilient, and morally uplifted. This is Alali reporting for AFP Community News, 1AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Ali. And the Land Transportation Office has subjected all the drivers and conductors of the Solid North Transit to mandatory drug testing. This follows the tragic accident at Expressway Toll Plaza in Tarlac City on May 1 that left 10 people dead. LTO Chief Assistant Secretary Vigor Mendoza II said all the passenger buses under the Solid North Transit will be subjected to roadworthiness test as a part of the condition before it could operate anew. Mendoza also added that refusal to undergo drug tests is already a ground for LTO action insofar as a driver's license is concerned. And the Department of Education reiterated that there is no automatic pass or auto-pass policy in the Philippine public school system. This came amid growing concerns about the trend of mass promotion, where students advance to the next grade level despite not meeting learning standards. But Education Secretary Sonny Angara admitted that while mass promotion is not a formal DepEd rule, it has become a silent norm in some schools. Angara then stressed that they want to change that and added that promotion must be grounded in actual learning.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
More updates coming in from Ferday about 89th Infantry Battalion joins conduct of province-wide election send-off ceremony in Bukidnon. Ferday?
Good day everyone. The 89th Infantry Macatao Battalion joined the ceremonial send-off of the province-wide election security operations held at Camp Captain Ramon M. Unahon in Malaybalay City. The activity marks the start of intensified efforts to uphold a peaceful, orderly, and credible electoral process across the entire province of Bukidnon. 1003rd Infantry Raptor Brigade Commander Brigadier General Marion T. Angkao led the ceremony and highlighted the Army's vital role in securing the sanctity of the ballot and ensuring that every citizen can safely exercise the right to vote. Meanwhile, Brigadier General Angkao lauded the 89th IV's preparedness, professionalism, and unwavering commitment to duty. This is Ferdy News reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Ferdy. And for our final news, the Philippine Consulate General in Vancouver, Canada has arranged the repatriation of the remains of the Filipinos killed during the tragic Lapu-Lapu Festival car ramming attack last month. The incident left 11 people dead. The Philippine Embassy in Ottawa on Tuesday said the consulate is currently facilitating the repatriation of the remains of Filipino nationals who lost their lives. The embassy also advised the public to be cautious of individuals or groups falsely claiming to be victims or soliciting donations for them. And that's all for today's broadcast. Thank you for joining us, especially to our audience in our Facebook page, AFP Radio DWDD. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow for more updates, same time, same station. Again, this is Joyce Imbaon for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas.